Good morning. Hope you're well. Hope you had a nice weekend. And NFP week is behind us, thankfully. So hopefully that need a bit of time for the markets to settle. A few things played out on Friday actually, but you'd be pretty brave to take those trades through the news. So anyway, there's a ton today. There's a lot to get through, so I'm going to quickly get stuck into the charts. We need to see how it settles, as I said. So this could change. This could become a complete shambles by the end of the day. But at the moment, there are a lot of opportunities possibly setting up. Right, let's get into it because I've got a big list. Okay, Aussie CAD. Aussie CAD rejecting this very strong resistance level, it seems. ABC correction towards the daily 50. Big bearish day Friday. CAD strength and Aussie weakness. It seems the news was favouring, in general, the safe haven currencies, dollar, yen, and I didn't really see in the Swiss so much, but dollar and yen certainly, and the other currencies like the Aussie dollar and the resource kind of currencies are tend to get a bit of weakness. So Aussie CAD also got strength for some reason. Maybe the oil is up, but we saw a very big bearish move on Friday. So let's get stuck into this. So the only thing I can see really here is a pulling back for a pip snatcher. There's also been some gapping on the open, which has made our charts a bit messy. This pulls back here to a daily pivot. Give it plenty of time for the hourly 50 to catch up. Long way to catch up. If it does, then that could be a nice little pitch snatcher short, but I'm not too keen on it because of that hourly 50 being so far behind. But we'll see how that plays out during the day. Aussie Swiss, the next one we look at. Again, Aussie weakness. Pretty much almost touched the daily 50. Maybe there's a good push snatcher in there in short, although the open has actually gapped below the daily 50 and then come back up through it. All the gaps seem to be closing very quickly, but it's made a bit of a mess of it. Again, the hourly 50 is a long way behind, so there may be a quick push snatcher in there, but maybe there's something better because there's a lot to look at today. Aussie dollar, so Aussie weakness, dollar strength. Very bearish action on Friday, bearish day. Room to daily 50, room to the downside. Looking like a DDP down, daily direction prediction down. Pip snatcher best option, I think. This gapping's made a bit of a mess of it, but it's closing up quick. Pip snatcher short, you could probably make, keep it simple. We might be able to find there's a CBO in there. No, 1 hour 50 is 4 hour 50 is probably too far behind the CBO. It could work, but got to see how it plays out. It's not looking very clean, is it? And not much room to daily 50, 1.7%. Maybe. See if that 1 hour 50 can catch up. It's got a long way to go. That's the problem with these big moves on days where so hourly 50 gets left behind. Okay, CAD yen. So we're seeing a bit of yen strength across the board. Now, first reservation here, because this level here we've been hitting against for quite a while, and it stopped there again on Friday. So maybe that's an issue, but as you can see, it gapped above it and it's now closing that gap. I'm recording this in the first hour after the open. So yeah, it's got a long way to go to pull back. But the fibs, apart from this opening gap here, fibs line up pretty nicely for a CBO. Should be quite a nice CBO, only 50 catching up. That'll be there in about 2 or 3 or 4 hours. 550 just behind it. That looks pretty nice as CBO, but the hourly gapping has made a bit of a mess of it. So we'll see how that looks after the first hour or two and see if it still looks half decent or not. Euro Aussie, bullish day, mainly down to Aussie weakness, I suggest, but I don't really notice much about the euro. But we'll see those next 4 pairs of euros, so we'll see how that looks. Right, Euro Aussie looking for more bullish actions, needs to pull back first. Choices here are the ACBB, which is not the best. From these lows to the highs, fibs okay. 150 catching up. Could be an ACBB, basically an IBO, but with the 450 behind us. And we can play it up to the daily pivot R1, 1.2%. Not that exciting. Is there room to go much higher? Yeah, you got to this trend line perhaps, up to about 1.579. Obviously do this properly, but this is just me eyeballing stuff. Oh, there's a line there, it's the trend line. So there's plenty of room there for something a bit more. If you get a pullback, the AFX is not too far behind, so that doesn't look too bad. Euro CAD, have we seen Euro strength? Let's see, look at Euro CAD. No, not really. That's actually a down day, mainly because of the CAD strength, which I mentioned. Maybe it's going to pull back down to 30.50. Do we have a MACD? I have to zoom in. MACD divergence pretty large, right? Really much lower on this latest high. So that's looking like we are going to go short. So that could well be only for the daily 50. On the 1 hour chart, yeah, the CPI looks quite nice. General price action is a bit yucky, but now we've had some news. Maybe now is the time for CAD to sort itself out and show some strength. It's been fighting with the euro because the euro's had a bit of strength, the CAD's had a bit of strength, and now it seems to be the CAD's strength is taking over. So that could pull back for a nice CBO, 150, 450, very close. Trading into the daily 2050 zone, be aware of that. But there's a good 3% on offer there, so that looks quite nice. Well, look at that one. Euro Kiwi. Euro Kiwi, yeah, Euro strength gets our Kiwi weakness mainly, I guess. So we have bullish day yesterday, pulling away from the daily 50. Hopefully that will continue today. Best thing I think here is a pip snatcher. We've already ACBB looking a bit stretched. Probably look pretty similar to the pip snatcher, but pip snatcher might be the best option here. Euro Aussie, Euro dollar, sorry. Bearish day, Euro weakness. Oh, Euro has strength, isn't it? So it's the dollar weakness taking over here. It's showing lots of bearish action on Friday. Going towards the daily 50 is a MACD divergence. It's pretty strong. Yeah, MACD divergence. So maybe we'll pull back to daily 50. And you don't need to pull back to daily pivot for a pivot snatcher short, or it actually lines up well also for a CBO short. So you've got new lows now, which is good after this trading range, bit of messy trading range. We pull up here, we get a lower high, so we're definitely in a downtrend now. Lower highs, lower lows. Pull back to the 1 hour 50, 4 hour 50 is pretty close, and the 382 on the fib is there as well. So if it does go through daily pivot, give us an entry. That could be a nice little CBO. Trade it down to the S1, the daily pivots. It's very safe, 1.9%. Or you can play it down to 30.50. A bit more on offer there. It's quite nice. Although euro dollar is not my favourite pair by any means. Okay, pound Aussie. Pound's found a bit of strength over the weekend, it seems. And we've had some bullish action on Friday. Get rid of that. Actually, we can see a MACD in here, can't we? Pretty strong MACD. Maybe not. Very good, actually. Slightly, but not much. So we're looking for some more bullish action today. And let's look at the 1 hour chart. So we've got a nice looking, the gap is closed, and I hope it's going to pull back now to the 1 hour 50, the 382. I don't know if it's catching up. IBO long, IBOC, because we've already reached the 4 hour 50. We're trading through it. Not ideal, but it's definitely an uptrend. So it does look quite nice. Up to daily 20, 2%, or you can even take it up to the daily 50, a bit higher. So that looks quite a nice option there. Pound CAD. Sorry to go so fast, but there's a lot to cover. Pound CAD. So the pound actually has weak. Oh, because the CAD has strength. So the CAD strength here is taking over. We rejected this trend line last week, and we've had bearish days since, which is looking good to continue today. If I can see the daily 50, so that'll hopefully just continue short. What does it offer us? Best thing really is, the only thing is a pip snatcher. And the 1 hour 50 is still quite a way behind. So that's got some catching up to do. Pound CAD, another 8, 9 hours away to set up. So that could work out okay. We'll see how that plays out. Pound Swiss. This one is looking like a long, mainly because of the stalling action on Friday and what we see on the hourly chart. So I think we can see here an ABO setting up. Advanced breakout, if you're familiar with the ABO. So we've got this strong support-like level here, which has already been hit 3 times, it seems. Here or hereabouts, maybe we can go down just to these lows. It's those wicks and that low. Okay, we need 3 touches on the sloping part, the sloping line as well, the trend line, just to show that this is actually an ABO setting up, and the big players will be playing that long. Touch, 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 touch. We need to come up here to the trend line, come back to support again, and then as it breaks up, we can enter that as an ABO. The good side is nothing really. The negatives are it may be testing the hourly 50 at the same time, so maybe that's going to be, does that again, that's not the best of ABOs, because the hourly 50 is more of the resistance than the trend line. But see how it sets up. Also hasn't broken this level yet. So it does. What we really want to see is for it to give us the perfect IBO during the day. Pound Swiss, so won't be entering for another 6, 7, 8 hours. So it comes up here, touches this trend line, breaks down below it to take these stops out. No one's entered too early. Then comes up here, and then pushes some kind of lower low, and then into on that one. And then you can trade it up to here. Sounds a bit complex. Maybe it'll play out. That's the ideal that'll happen. If it doesn't pull below, this this support level to take out the stops, it's still valid as an ABO, but not as strong. Okay, pound dollar. Or you can wait for the IBO, of course. You can wait for the IBO long. Okay, pound dollar. This trend line here, it seems to be reasonably strong, but we went straight through on Friday with the dollar strength and through the hourly 50. So is that going to continue short? Let's hope so. This could be a nice looking pip snatcher if the 1 hour 50 can catch up. It's got 6 or 8 hours to do it. It's looking a bit steep. And because of this price action, there's plenty of room to the downside. So why not? If this is your thing, I'd like to round it up. 800, 600, 3200. Hyper trade, 4 to 1. Why not? That could be a good option. So pound dollar looks good. And the MACD was looking good for that as well on the 1 hour. Kiwi CAD. Cool, there's a lot to talk about today. So Kiwi weakness, CAD strength, very bearish day on Friday, breaking the 1 hour 50. Hopefully they'll continue down. Not a great setup for anything but an pip snatcher. And remember the daily 50 is just here as well, but I don't think that'll be an issue. Already broken it, so it should be okay to continue down. Can you take it as a hyper trade? Probably wouldn't want to go below these lows. So maybe just the pip snatcher is the best option. Or if you are a brave soul, you could take the hyper trade. Kiwi Swiss. Again, bearish action, running down to Swiss strength, Kiwi weakness. And here we are again, another pip snatcher could be a good option here. With the 1 hour 50 has got to catch up, so that's a good few hours away. Kiwi dollar. Right, very bearish day. going through the daily 50, but not that strongly. So is that going to reject the daily 50 as a kind of zone? Was it going to continue short? Well, with the rest of the US pairs and the Kiwi pairs, we can see that it's probably going to keep on going short. The dollar has strength across so many pairs, all pairs. DXY is very strong. So it's probably going to continue down. Will it pull back? We'll have to wait and see. Only 50 has a long way to catch up. So we need to wait for that to catch up to the pivot. That could be a short trade. Dollar CAD, we had both dollar strength and CAD strength on Friday, but the dollar strength was the biggest. A bit more room, a bit of room to the daily 50, not much, but we could have a bit more upside. Again, we've got so many options here. Let's just go for the best ones and see how they're looking as they set up. But this one looks good for a CBO. I like this one because the fib lines up well. The CBO pulls back down to here. 1 hour 50 catching up, 4 hour 50 just behind it. That's quite nice in CBO, and get 1.8% on that one. Dollar Swiss is a similar kind of thing. Lots of dollar strength on Friday. Oops. So hopefully this will continue long to that. So daily 50. Again, we don't want to push it past that. And again, the CBO sets up quite nicely. It pulls back. If it pulls back, 1 hour 50 just behind, 4 hour 50, we're just behind it on the entry. That looks very nice if it pulls back. Dollar yen. Dollar yen. So again, dollar strength. Looking for this to pull up to the daily 50, but the gap up has made it look a bit messy. And it never really closed that gap, so it's probably not going to set up very nicely. We have to wait and see. If we did use that fib, that looks a bit yuck, doesn't it? Yeah, see, it looks in a few hours, but it doesn't look very nice because of the gapping. Okay, there we go. Whew, there's a mouthful. Is my video going to come back? It's been a bit naughty today. Okay, video's not going to work. Okay, so yes, lots to look at. Wait for the markets to settle down. Only pick the best setups because there's such a lot of choice. And I wish you all the best. If you're not a member of ProTrader, scottprotrader.com, link in the description, and you can come and join us, get some free training, and yeah, join us in our quest to conquer the markets. I wish you all the best in the markets. I will speak to you tomorrow. I will see you then. Take care.